Today, I'm going to be giving you a review of the Samsung Frame of 2021. I'm not going to waste your time by drawing it out for however long people like to do that on YouTube. I'll tell you, it's a really criminally underrated TV. Is it the best TV in the world? No. Is it going to destroy OLED anytime soon? Also no. But I think seriously, when you look at what it offers, it is criminally underrated, especially compared to the mediocre edge-lit offerings that you're going to have on the Q60A or the Q70A this year from Samsung. You definitely might want to be checking out this one instead. And here are a couple reasons why. The One Connect box is just genius. I have no idea why they stopped producing it, but it really lets you get very creative. One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of manufacturers make are basically just limiting you with these awkward port positionings. And when you have to plug in your PS5 or Xbox Series X and, figure out how your system is going to be hooked up into your TV, you usually have to, again, fiddle in a very awkward fashion. And if you're wall mounting TVs, this is where the One Connect box comes in clutch. You can move it anywhere almost in your room because it's super duper long, and you're able to plug it in and really just get that extension that you would need in some cases. And for me personally, I hate diving behind the TV anyway, so to be able to put like the One Connect box on a media console and then just swap out HDMIs as I need to, that is one of the most underrated things that people are just not talking about as a massive benefit. Nobody wants to dive behind the TV. It's just not something people want. And Samsung figured it out, and for whatever reason, they're not offering it on every single TV. I think this is an egregious mistake, and it's something they should rectify. Now, it doesn't just stop there though. The clarity on this TV is really incredible, and it will rival any of the top end televisions you'll see on the market right now. Simply put, a lot of people put a lot of stock into some of the other things like, brand name and things like that don't matter. And I'm telling you right now, when you talk about TVs, picture quality is everything. And this one definitely does have picture quality. One of the things that really impressed me is because it's basically an art TV, a gallery TV of sorts, they really do target more accurate colors out of the box. So you won't have to spend as much time calibrating like you would on something like, again, the Samsung Q60A or Q70A. This is going to come mostly dialed up for you. Now, I don't know if this was by design, but that's at least the only thing I can kind of surmise, seeing how nothing really changed outside of it being a gallery TV. So the fact that Samsung is targeting less green, pukey, pissy colors on this model versus every other model is something that I think should be mentioned. And seriously, almost nobody has mentioned that. Now, another thing that is really good about this television is motion. Motion is pretty good. You don't see dirty screen effect at all. And that's a huge win for Samsung because typically they have a lot of dirty screen effect that they have to work out with panning. And sometimes even when you're panning, there are some serious motion jitters. And this TV is pretty smooth for the most part. Is it smooth like the C1? No, but it's definitely a really smooth TV and you won't have any real motion issues. This TV is actually smoother than something like the Sony A90J, which costs $3,000. And that's worth mentioning because, again, you're not paying $3,000. But it doesn't just stop there. This TV also gets the same game bar options that you had last year, or rather this year, on some of the high-end TVs like the Q90A. At every turn, this is just kind of like a more upgraded version of their edge-lit line, and I don't see why people are sleeping on this. I just don't understand how people are dismissing it. It really is a solid TV for what it is. Is it perfect? Of course not. It doesn't have local dimming, but the black levels are deep enough. The native contrast of this display is rich enough that at most you're just going to see a little bit of gray here and there, but it's nothing that's going to absolutely destroy your image quality. It looks nothing like an IPS, and even TVs like the Nano 99 can't compete with this black level wise because their native contrast is significantly lower. So even though they have local dimming, the IPS screen kind of screws everything up for you. I mean, I really just get so disappointed with how nobody wants to pay attention to this TV because of the way that this TV is just literally just almost being ignored as if it doesn't exist. And I think if you're a gamer, this is a TV you might seriously want to look at if you have a budget and you maybe want to wall mount and you don't want to deal with burn-in and stuff like that. Because I tell you right now, you have 9.7 milliseconds of input lag. That is fucking ridiculous, pardon my French. I haven't seen many TVs hit that number, and for this TV to do that is freaking incredible. It's like they really did think of everything. You have 4K 120 hertz support. You have soap opera effect motion in game mode. You have a black equalizer to open up shadow detail. I mean, like, I could go on and on, but honestly speaking, it's a solid TV. And I think if you're serious about walking away with something that's worth your money and you don't want to pay the premium, or you don't really care about full array local dimming, and you're not a stickler for black level so much, this is definitely worth a look because it's a solid TV. And honestly, it's so easy to use. You plug in flash drives and things like that. It registers quickly, unlike some TVs like Sony. Like, really, like, I cannot tell you how good this TV is for what it is. And that's just where I'll leave it. Now, again, is it the best thing in the world? No, there are better options out there, namely the LG OLED C1, which would ultimately be my recommendation if it ever reached a similar price point. But that being said, I think, again, it's a solid pick for what it is, and I hope you guys will give it a look if you're, I guess, shopping around and maybe thinking about this. And before anyone says anything, this video wasn't sponsored by Samsung in any aspect of the word, but this basically does conclude what I have to say about this television, because I kind of feel like no matter what I say anyway, people are just going to dismiss this TV. But I think it's a criminally underrated TV. I think it should get more credit for what it can do. Ask me questions down below and I'll do what I can to help you out. If you miss me in the comments, make sure you stop by the live stream Friday, 7 p.m. through 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll answer your questions live there. Thanks again, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.